go.
Hi, folks. Welcome to the 40th presentation hosted by AlmonTravel, CARP, and for tonight, Cuba Tourism, held every Tuesday at 6:30 Atlantic time. As in the past, this presentation is being recorded and will be on CARP Travel website shortly after. As I do at the beginning of every presentation, I let you folks know a little bit about what we do as a travel agency. We've been in business for almost 18 and a half years now. One of our major focuses during that time was destination weddings in the Caribbean area. We've done 130 destination weddings from across Canada. And while that may not be, what this demographic is particularly interested in, certainly, anniversary trips, extended family trips would definitely fit our demographic. Caribbean vacations, because we do, a lot of research. We visit resorts when we're down in a certain area. So we get to know a lot of resorts. We're able to recommend resorts for vacations for adults only and families as well. We also specialize in Florida travel and are theme park specialists. So if you have, again, an extended family trip, grandparents, parents, and children, to go down to one of the many theme parks that are in Florida area, we can certainly help you with that, as we've been to all of them. River cruises, that's one of our particular specialties. We have gone on 10 different itineraries ourselves around the world. 2 in Vietnam, the Red River and the Mekong with Cambodia. We've done the Yangtze in China. We have done the Nile in Egypt. We have done a number of European river cruises as well, and actually did a very interesting one on the Mississippi on a sternwheeler several years ago as well. So we have a lot of experience with that, and certainly would be very happy to talk with you and help you book one of those. Ocean cruises, another specialty of ours. We've tried to take the popular ocean cruises. The Caribbean, there's 3 different itineraries there. We've done Hawaii, we've done Alaska, we've done the Mediterranean. We did a cruise around the UK, which was really quite an interesting cruise. And we've done one from Auckland, New Zealand to Sydney, Australia. So again, lots of experience there. We can help you with that. Coach tours rounds out our specialties, anything from local here in the Maritimes to international with some of the bigger companies like Trafalgar, Globus, and that sort of thing. So anyway, travel conditions, folks, changing weekly. I note this because I commented on it every week. One of the nice things that's happened lately, I just heard it late this afternoon, is that one of the insurance companies that I deal with has opened up their policies to be able to protect against COVID, and that even includes cruises. So if that's something you're interested in, certainly feel free to contact me, and I can let you know what's going on. Changing, as I say, almost weekly. My connection with CARP, Canadian Association of Retired Persons, Nova Scotia branch, is through Bill Van Gorder, who is the COO and Chief Policy Officer for CARP National, as well as the founding chair for CARP Nova Scotia. I was working with Bill on a charitable foundation back about 3 or 4 years ago called 100 Men Who Give a Damn. In the time that I worked with him on that, we raised about $400,000. I got to know him quite well. I booked a couple of trips for him, including a river cruise and a cross-Canada train trip. And as a result of that, he invited us to be the official travel agency for CARP, and we were happy to accept that. So I'd like to introduce Nieves Ricardo, who is the marketing assistant for the Cuba Tourism Board, who will be talking to us about this, what this lovely country in the Caribbean area has to offer. It's a long-time favorite for Canadians and particularly maritime travelers. And she's going to have a look at the different attractions of the different touristic areas of Cuba. So Nieves, please go ahead.
Well, thank you, Danny. And hi, everybody. Thank you for joining us today. And thank you, Danny and Debbie from AlmonTravel for this opportunity. It's fantastic to be here and have a chance to chat with you about Cuba. I know that has been a very difficult year, and the decision to travel is a personal decision. But you know what? After all, we live here in Canada, and the days are getting shorter, the scarves are getting longer. So I'm here to tell you that when you are ready to travel, Cuba is a safe choice, and it's safe to travel to Cuba. Okay, so let's see if I can get my next slide here. And okay, so as I say, Cuba is a safe choice. In Cuba, your safety is our priority. All the hotels that are open have been certified with all the health and safety protocols. Not only the hotels, also the restaurants, the marinas, the car rental, transportation companies. Over 2,500 hotels and companies of the tourism sector have been certified. So also when you go to Cuba, you can take advantage of our excellent health system, and you will have a medical team at every single hotel. So it means that you will have a doctor, a nurse, an epidemiologist, a specialist at every single hotel. They will monitor the health of the clients and the staff. So you can have peace of mind that if anything goes wrong, you are in good hands. Also, I'm very happy to share with you the good news that all the hotel staff in the main destinations has been already vaccinated. And by November, by the end of this month, we're planning that over 92% of the entire population will be vaccinated as well. Cuba has a very strong biotechnological sector, and we have been able to produce our own vaccine. Cuba was the first country in the world to start vaccinating kids 2 years old and over, and we're very proud of that. If you're planning to visit Cuba, it's very simple. The entry requirements are straightforward. All you need is a valid passport and the tourist card, which is included in the package. When you book a trip to Cuba, the tourist card is included. You will receive it on board. And also you will need a health insurance that includes COVID insurance. If for some reason you cannot get it here in Canada, you can buy it in Cuba at the airport upon the arrival, and it's only $30 US, and it covers up to 21 days stay. So it's very, very economical. As of November 7th, so it means by this weekend, if you are fully vaccinated, when you go to Cuba, you don't need a COVID test prior entering Cuba. And Cuba is accepting all the vaccines that have been approved by Health Canada, and also mixed dose. So there is no worries about that. So if you're vaccinated, you don't need a COVID test before going to Cuba, no PCR upon arrival, and no quarantine. If for whatever reason you are not vaccinated or you can't be vaccinated, still you can go to Cuba. But in that case, you are going to need the PCR test taken 72 hours prior entering Cuba. Once you arrive in Cuba, just to give you an idea of what is happening at the airport, the check-in is very quick, very fast. It's going to be like temperature screening, and you have to hand it in the health declaration form, which is just a piece of paper that you will receive in the on board of the flight, and you have to answer some questions about your if you had any symptoms, if you had fever, if you have cough. So it's a very easy form that you have to fill out. The PCR test that Canadians need 72 hours before they return back in Canada is done right at the hotels at all the main destinations in Cuba. And this costs $30 US. It's payable locally by Visa or debit Visa. This is another advantage I would say that we have. Other destinations are charging 3, 4, 5 times more. So this is very good. So let's talk a little bit about Cuba. Cuba has a little bit for everybody, or playing dead on the beach or seeking thrilling adventures. Cuba has it all. And I know that most Canadians go to Cuba because of the beaches, and who can blame them? We have the best beaches in the Caribbean, but also there are many Canadians that like to explore and like to be active. For those, there are plenty of things to do and see, especially with the colonial cities. We have so many beautiful colonial cities. I don't know if you ever had a chance to visit Old Havana or Cienfuegos, Trinidad, Camagüey. Some of them are World Heritage cities, and they are gorgeous. It's the same architecture that you see in part of Europe. But also I think that what is really unique in Cuba is the cultural life. The cultural life in Cuba is like no other place in the Caribbean. You will have from opera to ballet, hundreds of museums, concert halls, art galleries all across the country. And I think that this vibrant culture and rich history is what makes us a fascinating country. For the nature lovers, we have 9 national parks. We have several reserves of the biosphere, natural and protected areas all over the country. And the same thing goes with festivals and sports events. There are a few festivals that are getting really, really popular, like the Jazz Festival or the Cigar Festival. Also, we have guitar, ballet, Caribbean Heritage Festivals, carnivals. The same goes with sports events. I don't know if you ever had a chance to go to a baseball game in Cuba. It's an awesome experience. So my recommendation to you would be that if you visit Cuba, try to take advantage of these events and festivals, because you will have a fantastic experience. It's a lifetime experience, really. But the most important thing is that they cost a fraction of what you pay for something similar here in Canada. But really what makes Cuba unique is the Cuban people and their zest of life and optimism. Cubans are very well educated, very polite, they make friends easily, and they love Canadians. I always say that Cubans are very similar to Canadians from Nova Scotia and the East Coast. They're just friendly, nice people. And Cuba is safe wherever you go. There are no drugs and guns on the streets. You can go outside of the hotel and walk at any time of the day, and you feel safe. It's very safe. So where to go in Cuba? It's a big country. We are the biggest island in the Caribbean, and there are different destinations for different types of experiences. Here is when you need to talk to AlmonTravel, and here is when you get the experts' advice, and I'm talking about Debbie and Danny, so they can tell you where to go in Cuba. Today, I'm going to just give you a quick overview of the main destinations. I would like to start with Varadero, and you can see that in the map. It's in the northwestern part of Cuba, and it's that skinny peninsula that you see water on both sides. And Varadero is the most popular destination in Cuba, and it's one of the most iconic beaches in the Caribbean. Usually, it's at the top of the beach destinations in TripAdvisor, and I can tell you that totally deserve its reputation. It's a beautiful 22 kilometers white sand beach, and you can just walk miles upon miles. In Varadero is where you will have a lot of upscale resorts, nightlife, a lot of activities. Also is only 2 hours from Havana, so makes Varadero excellent for 2 center holidays. You can split the week, or you can spend 1 week in one and another week in the other destination. Also, Varadero is excellent for groups, family groups, weddings, especially because Varadero has direct flight from different cities across Canada. So if you have family members that live in other parts of Canada, there is no problem. Still, they can catch a direct flight and everybody meets down there. Also, Varadero is home to the only 18-hole golf course in Cuba. So if you're planning to play golf, this is the place to go. It's 72 par, excellent reviews, and was designed by a Canadian company. And also in Varadero, you will have a lot of excursions and day trips you can take. Especially this one is a catamaran cruise to a tiny island offshore close to Varadero. It's called Cayo Blanco. And that is where you want to be in a hot day. Also, there are a lot of adventure tours. You can take boat rides through a river. You can have jeep safaris, visit nearby cave. Lot of adventure tours around here. Or you can visit Havana, which also is one of the most popular tours out of Varadero. I can tell you that if you take this tour, your only complaint would be that you want to stay longer in Havana. So let's talk about Havana. Havana is, as you can see, is in the northwestern part of Cuba as well, and is the epitome of culture, history, music, and arts. Havana is the capital of Cuba and is a world-class city, and is one of the biggest cities in the Caribbean, with 2.5 million people living in Havana. Old Havana is a World Heritage Site and is getting better by the day. A lot of renovations in the city, a lot of activities, especially my recommendation would be if you are in the city, take a walking tour of Old Havana and the 4 main plazas, or take a stroll through El Malecón, which is this picture that you are seeing here. The Malecón is the ocean promenade, and it's like a meeting place in Havana. As I said, Havana is getting better by the day, especially with the recent opening of luxury hotels. This one that you will see here in the picture is a swimming pool of the Kempinski Grand Manzana, but also we have a new Sofitel. It's called So El Prado. And also there is a new Iberostar Packard, and the list keeps growing. Havana has a lot of restaurants for all kinds of budgets. You can find, obviously, those famous tourist traps, which tend to be a little bit pricey, but also there are a lot of private restaurants. In Cuba, we call them paladars, and they are family-run restaurants, excellent, fantastic food, and very, very economical. The greatest attraction in the city, I would say, is the nightlife and the endless entertainment. Havana is fantastic for bar hopping, jazz clubs, nightclubs, music in every corner. And now we're moving on to the east, and I'm talking now about the Keys, north of Villa Clara province. And I'm talking about Cayo Santa Maria, Cayo Ensenachos, and Cayo Las Brujas. These 3 islands are connected to the causeway to mainland. So clients going to this area, they fly into Santa Clara Airport, which is in mainland, and it's about 90 minutes from the airport to the hotel area. But really doesn't feel like a long transfer, because half of the way is over the causeway, which ocean on both sides, and the view is really breathtaking. Obviously, the main attraction here is the beach, and it's kilometers upon kilometers of white, powdery, glittering sand and clear water. My only comment here is that if you go here, you will find that the beach is prettier than the picture. The lot of stylish resorts and tranquility make this area excellent for relaxation. And of course, a lot of water sports to enjoy. If you get tired of solitude, always you can come to mainland, which is very easy because remember, it's connected to the causeway. You can come and visit Remedios, which is a cute colonial town founded in 1514 by the Spanish, and it's only 45 minutes away. Or you can visit Santa Clara, Trinidad, or Cienfuegos. All those three cities, you can combine them in the same trip, and they are worth a visit. They are like outdoor museums. If you feel adventurous, there is a big mountain range nearby. It's called Escambray Mountains, and there are a lot of eco tours and adventure tours in this area. So now let's talk about Cayo Coco and Cayo Guillermo and Cayo Cruz. Cayo Cruz is our newest destination. It's a tiny island next to Cayo Coco and Cayo Guillermo, and just opened before COVID in 2019. So everything is new down there. These islands were Hemingway's playground, and they serve as inspiration for his books. And they are part of an archipelago connected with causeways among themselves. And you will find here the most pristine beaches you have ever seen. The lush vegetation here is, it's amazing. It shelters one of the biggest colonies of pink flamingos in the Americas. And that speaks about the quality of the environment in this area. As I said, there are a lot of new hotels here, especially in Cayo Guillermo and Cayo Cruz. This picture that you are seeing here is the Kempinski Cayo Guillermo. And you will have here those over-the-water villas. It's the only resort in this area that is not all-inclusive. This is pure luxury. And the only good news I would say is that now you don't need to travel far away to Bora Bora. You have those beautiful over-the-water villas in Cuba. In Cayo Guillermo also there is a new hotel, it's called MGM Grand Muthu Rainbow. This hotel caters especially to the LGBTQ community, but also the same company has two other properties next door. It's a new company from South Asia. It's called MGM Muthu Hotels, and they are new to the Caribbean and new to Cuba. Excellent feedback from this company. Also in Cayo Cruz, this is the newest destination in Cuba. There is a brand new Iberostar selection, Esmeralda, and a Valentin Cayo Cruz. Very good hotels. If you enjoy fishing, probably Cayo Coco is your best destination in Cuba. You can do fishing everywhere in Cuba, of course, but in Cayo Coco, you can do any kind of fishing, from deep sea fishing to fly fishing, freshwater fishing. So you cannot go wrong here if you enjoy fishing. And also bird watching, you can do that. And now let's move into Holguin. Holguin, as you can see there, is in the northeastern part of Cuba. And the beaches in Holguin are quite different from the ones in the western part of Cuba. This picture is, it's a typical beach in Holguin. It's white sand, very picturesque, but they are not that long. I always say that if you are not training for a marathon, you don't walk 20 kilometers a day. So for me, the best way that I like to describe Holguin is as a happy medium. It's not as busy as Varadero, but it's not as quiet as the Cayos. Holguin, you will see more the real Cuba. If you are in Holguin area, you can visit Bariay, which is this picture you are seeing. This is the monument that marks the place where Christopher Columbus arrived in Cuba in 1492. Also, Holguin is home of several national parks. So if you enjoy eco tours, adventure tours, also it's a good area to go to. Or snorkeling. I would say that probably Holguin is one of the best places in Cuba for snorkeling, especially because you can do it from the shore. You don't need to take a boat and travel far to see the coral reef. The coral reef is very close and you can do it right from the shore. Also, Holguin is very close to Santiago de Cuba. And Santiago de Cuba is the second largest city in Cuba, very ethnic, very Caribbean, lot of history, lot of music. And for me, I would say the same way that clients like to combine Varadero and Havana, they can combine Holguin and Santiago. And they will have the best of both worlds. So this is it. Those would be the highlights of the main destinations in Cuba. And Cuba is waiting. Just you need to talk to AlmonTravel. Okay, Danny, you can get it from here.
Okay. Nieves, thank you very much. That was a wonderful view. Most times when we think about Cuba, we don't have the background. We're looking at the resorts, what's available on the resort, and you coming on and telling us about what is available off resort is very illuminating. And I'm thinking of a number of people that I want to send this link to, just because I know that Cuba is their favorite place to visit, but they go to the same place every time. Here's an opportunity for them to learn a little bit more. I do have a couple of questions that came up, and I think we're within the time limit to be able to do that. I'm amazed at the cost of medical tests and that sort of thing. You had mentioned that briefly at the beginning, but I mean, I've been looking into things. People going to Germany, people going to Mexico, the additional costs of testing to get back to Canada. You're right. It's around $150 US per person. So to think that they're looking at $30 to get it done down there, and no requirements to get that kind of testing done to visit Cuba. Now, having said that, it just depends on what the airlines are actually doing as far as requiring testing to be done before they board the airlines. But that's changing. And I'm very happy to hear that, because that's that cost adds a fair bit to the cost of your trip. If you're thinking about going down to Mexico, it's quite a bit. You have a family of 4 or 6 or extended. It's a lot of extra money. So that's wonderful to hear. Thank you very much. Let's see, mixed vacations. I was only aware of the Varadero Havana, which I think is a fantastic idea. I booked that for a number of clients in the past. So I suggest they go to Havana and have an active, the first part of the vacation, and then go to Varadero for the second half, so they can sit back and relax, recover from that. But to see that there is another option, Holguin and Santiago de Cuba, I wasn't aware of that. So that's a really good thing for me to keep in mind when I'm advising my clients. The overwater bungalows, they seem to be becoming more and more popular. There's different places in the Caribbean area and in Mexico that are doing that sort of thing. And it's an experience. I have no idea what the cost would be. Certainly we could investigate that and figure that out. But somebody who wants something that is unique, that is certainly, and Cuba offers it. That's wonderful. I think that's pretty well. Just medical team at every hotel. That's quite amazing too. Again, you and I were talking for 15 minutes at the beginning of this. And we were talking about comfort level for people to travel, what needs to be in place. Certainly you seem to have touched all the bases as far as Cuba is concerned and all of the resorts. So I think it'll be an easier sell than perhaps some of the other warm places.
Yeah.
Okay, so again, thank you very much, Nieves, for an enjoyable and educational presentation on Cuba. It's a popular destination, particularly from the Maritimes. And to close this presentation and keep it underneath our time, just wanted to mention to people who may view this over the next week or so that we do have a presentation next Tuesday at 6:30, November the 9th, another popular vacation winter spot in the Caribbean, the island of St. Lucia. So, Nieves, thank you very, very much for your presentation. I really enjoyed it.
Thank you, Danny. And, we are only a phone call away or an email away. We are based here in Toronto, and we'll be happy to answer any question and provide any information that you or any of Canadian might have when they planning travel to Cuba.
Thank you very much.
Okay, thank you. Bye.
Bye-bye.